Webinars are a proven campaign model to drive real remodeling projects for your business. I'm going to break it down step by step so that you can get your campaign up and running and start driving business in the next 30 to 45 days. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Spencer Powell. I'm the CEO over at Builder Funnel, and our marketing agency has helped our clients drive over $150 million in revenue of remodeling projects and custom homes. This channel, Builder Funnel TV, is where we share strategies, tactics, things that have worked for us and our clients in hopes that they help you grow as well. And today we're going to talk about the webinar campaign. And what I want to do is break it down step by step so that you can take this as your blueprint, go copy the campaign model, use it in your business, and start driving some new business opportunities in the next 30 to 45 days. So I'm going to walk you through about 9 steps here. Don't get intimidated. I'm going to break it down step by step, and I want you to be able to execute this and then report back your results. All right, so step number 1, pick a topic. We got to have a topic for the webinar. So something like X mistakes to avoid in your next remodel, and these will save you tens of thousands of dollars. Something like that. We can workshop the title a little bit, but you want to have a compelling title that speaks to your target audience and is actually going to deliver on some true education and that you solve in the way you do business. So naturally, as you educate them on, the design build process or the remodeling process, all the mistakes. You can show them, hey, this is how we avoid them through our process. We do X, Y, and Z. So again, pick a topic, make it education based. It's naturally going to flow into how you solve those problems, and you can be the one to help them avoid those mistakes. Then step number 2, pretty straightforward, build the slide deck. Okay, now you have your topic, you have your slides, and so we're going to build a landing page or a registration page. So this can just be a simple page on your website. We're going to lay out, hey, we're hosting this free webinar on this date, this time. Here's what we're going to cover. And then you have a simple form where somebody can fill that out to register. So once you've got that, now we're ready to promote it. So step number 4 is that we're going to start promoting this about 4 to 6 weeks prior to the webinar date. And we're going to have a bunch of different things that we can do to promote it. So the first and the biggest win, this is probably what will drive the most registrants, is your email database. So hopefully you've been keeping and building a database of past clients, past leads and prospects, trade partners, architects, designers, anyone in your network. You want to be able to let them know, hey, we've got a webinar going on. Here's what we're going to cover. I typically recommend that if you're promoting this about 6 weeks out, you could do an email every single week leading up to it. The last week, you could even do a couple. And if you're doing it 4 weeks out, again, I would shoot for at least one a week there, and that should drive a good number of the registrants and the people signing up. We can also use social media. So you can be posting, I would say once a week. You could get a little more aggressive and post a couple of times a week, but we want to let that audience know as well. Then we're going to run some Facebook ads. So you can set this up so that it's zip code based. It's as many demographics as Facebook will allow us to match up our target audience. If you've been tracking some pixeled ads and retargeting anybody that's been to your website in the past, you can then run ads to them. And again, we're going to drive them to this educational free event. So we drive them right to the landing page where they can register. And then the last one is ask all of your trade partners, your designers you work with, realtors, architects, those type of people to share it with their audience and their email list and say, hey, hosting this free event, I think it'd be a lot of value for your audience. Would you mind sharing this link out for them? It allows them to share something of value with their audience, which builds goodwill for them. So a lot of times these partners of yours will want to share it. And many times, if you land new business, it helps them too if you're working with them. So they are incentivized to promote it because they know it will get them business. So we're going to promote this and get a lot of registrants. All right, step number 5, run the webinar, right? We're going to host the webinar. We're going to do that live at the date and time that you promised, and you're going to run through the slide deck. The key here is that at the end of the webinar, you want to have a strong call to action for a next step. So let's say you get 50 people on the webinar. There's going to be some percentage that are ready to engage now. That's why they registered. That's why they attended. And so they get to the end and they say, yep, I want to book a meeting, or whatever that call to action is, but show them the next step and give them a way to do it right then. All right. this is where you get a lot of additional sales opportunities. So the immediate opportunity is you run the webinar and then some people book the meeting. Now we're going to move into follow-ups. So we have a few different buckets here. Okay, so here's where the real opportunity is. Anyone that did attend the webinar but did not book a meeting, what we're going to do is follow up with these people over the next week or so. And we'll say, hey, I saw you attended the webinar. That's awesome. What were some of your key takeaways? And they'll share some takeaways and you say, hey, I'm just curious, why did you register and attend? And then they might say, oh, we've been thinking about this project or that project. And now you're into kind of a soft sales conversation and you can take it from there. And you may find out, hey, they actually do want to book a meeting, or you may find out this is somebody that I'm going to follow up in 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is. But you will then create some additional opportunities either now or in the near future. Okay, now we have another bucket. We have anyone that registered but did not show up. What we're going to do here is call these people and say, hey, I saw you registered for our webinar that we had last week, but I saw that you weren't able to attend. Happens all the time. Maybe something came up or you got busy. Would you like the recording? And if they say yes, then great. We're going to send them the recording. And then a week later, we're going to follow up and use the same approach we just used, which was, hey, now that I've sent you the recording, did you have any takeaways? Boom, they share some takeaways. I'm curious, why did you register? Why were you interested in it? And then now we're into the sales conversation. We're trying to diagnose, is this someone we should be talking to right now or in the future? All right, now we've got another step that we can take. We can say, all those people that did not register that are in our email database, we can email them and say, hey, we hosted a webinar last week or a couple of weeks ago. I noticed that you didn't attend, didn't register, but we did record it. Would you like a recording of that webinar? And then anyone that replies, they say yes. Then again, you send them the webinar and then you wait a week and you follow up, say, hey, what were our takeaways? And now we're back into that same conversation. Now, as a final step, step number 9, you can take the landing page and we're going to basically rework the copy so it doesn't say webinar on this date and time, and it says webinar on demand. And then when somebody fills out that form, they can just download the webinar right away. Once we've converted that and we make it so that when they fill it out, they get an email that says, hey, here's a link to the webinar, then we're going to put a call to action on our website and we're going to spread that throughout the website so that as people are hitting our site and we're driving traffic on a weekly basis, they can see that call to action, they go to the page and they download the webinar on demand, and we can do the same type of follow-up. Hey, saw you downloaded the webinar, what were your takeaways? And now you're into a sales conversation. So that's the step-by-step framework for running the webinar campaign, and this will turn into an ongoing asset that will drive leads for you in perpetuity, but you can also rerun this with a new topic. And so you can do this every month, every quarter, on whatever cadence that you desire, as long as you are hitting your lead goals and your growth goals. So run the campaign, let me know the results, and we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.